There was a house in the middle of the forest, inhabited by a mother and her young child. The child of the mother was still young. The next time, the child was in the yard to play. At the same time, a deer came. The deer tried to insert its antlers into the clothes of the little child, so that the little child seemed to be lifted on the deer's antlers. Instantly, the child was afraid of the deer and cried while screaming for his mother. Reflexively, the mother came out of the house and began to see what was happening. Unexpectedly, the child had been taken into the forest by the deer. The mother tried her best to chase the deer into the forest. However, when they arrived in the forest, the little child who was taken by the deer was already in a wide, grassy area and playing as usual. The mother was so happy to have found her child and began to carry her child. They returned home to the house they lived in. But what happened? It turned out that the house had been hit by a large tree. Of course, the condition of the house was completely destroyed. The mother began to think if she was still inside without chasing her child, what would happen to her? Suddenly, the mother remembered a few years earlier, she had saved a fawn from being targeted by hunters. She had covered the fawn with various kinds of cloth, so that the hunters would not find out. When the hunters were no longer there, she began to take the cloth that covered the deer and began to release the deer into the forest. Unexpectedly, the deer that carried her child was the fawn she had saved earlier. It was as if the fawn was trying to say thank you to her by carrying her child running into the forest to save the mother's family from being hit by a falling tree.